Okay, we're going to talk about a little bit of rendering settings for final renders. Trying to get really good quality stuff for portfolios. Making sure everything is pretty crisp and clear, but at the same time, not killing our computer or waiting for over an hour for one frame to render all the way. So I'm going to show you guys some settings, and we're going to get into different ways that you can render a scene. And so right here, I'm showing you from a perspective view. It says right here, perspective shape in my render, because I'm in my perspective window here, my viewport. This is the scene that I see right in front of me, okay? It's still rendering. It's about 50% right now. It's been going on for about a minute. So this isn't too terrible. I have it set up for to render to my GPU at 1080, a high def image at 300 resolution. So that's another change that I'm going to go over. So this is a pretty basic view that you can render from. Sure, that works great. Another way that you can do this is by creating a camera, and from a camera you can direct where you want that camera to be, and you can also direct it to give different effects as well. So a good thing about a camera is that it's very manipulatable. I don't know how to say that. But anyways, I'm going to take this and move it to a good place. The point of your rendering here, especially for single frame shots, this is just going to be something that really shows off the things that you've created, things that you've done. Now that I've created a camera here, I'm still showing my perspective, but if I can hit this little drop down and hit camera shape. Now it shows me exactly where my camera is aimed at. So this is great. I can use this. In fact, I might snap it right here. So now that I have a side-by-side view of my render, I'll close this down. I don't need that right now. And I have a perspective view over here. So from the perspective view, I can take this camera and move it where I need it to be. So I'll move it back here. And as I do that, I can see I'm framing the shot. I am the cameraman, and I am deciding what goes in this frame. Now, this is tough to tell from this angle. I can change this to a camera view, and then I'm moving it kind of a lot like what I would be in perspective view. I can do that by going to panels, perspective, camera, and this is basically what I'm seeing here. This is kind of a close-up view. It's kind of a cropped view because I'm taking up the whole screen here. But I'm getting kind of a cropped view. Now to see, let me pop this out of here. What I see here is now what I see. This is camera. I'm in camera, so it's showing me the same thing. But what I want to do is what does the film gate look like? And so I can turn this on. It's going to show me exactly what is being framed. So even though it shows me like, hey, this is everything, this is showing me kind of a better idea of what is being shown in my render here. It's like looking through a camera. So this stuff out here is just kind of like the bleed. It basically means it's stuff outside of the frame shot. Here is where I really want to focus on. You want to set up your camera to be in a place where it's really shining a light on everything, all the good stuff about your scene that you've made. Find a good angle of it. What's going to show off your modeling? What's going to show off your good lighting? Okay. If certain things don't show up well, how can you change your lighting to make things show up better? How can you adjust your lighting? Okay. So this is where you really get a view. Now that you've got everything completed, now you're going to frame your shot, right? You want to make everything look picture perfect. And that's what we're going to do here. So every time, make sure everything is kind of set up how you want it first. I would set it up using a low quality render as you're doing it. Otherwise, it's going to take up a lot of time. So once you get everything set up how you want it, you get your camera set up where you want it, then we're going to start looking at how to change your render settings to give you good quality images to render from. And I'm going to do that by going up here to my render settings. This little guy with the gear, click on that. I'm going to start by going into my system, and I want to make sure that I'm rendering using my GPU. This is fine. this is fine. I turn on enable manual device selection, and I purposely select my GPU here. Now, when I did that, it started this over again. Okay, whatever. Now I'm going to go into my Arnold Renderer tab, and this I think typically says 3. I bumped it up to 5. It's going to give me more samples through this camera that I'm rendering from. So this is great. I'm going to keep that there at 5, move it from 3 to 5 if you need to. And then I'm going to go to my common tab. My common tab here, my image format, I'm going to change my image format to a JPEG. That's fine. And quality is going to be 100. I'm going to zoom down here. I'm going to choose my renderable camera is going to be camera 1. And my presets, what I did was change this to 1080. And 1080 has its own size here, its own resolution. This resolution is great for screens, great for web-based resolution. 72 is perfect. I want to print these. So we're going to bump this up. You're going to frame out the perfect shot that Mr. Fulton wants to print. So you're going to frame it out just right. And so you're going to make this resolution 300. I'm going to hit enter on that. And I'm going to hit close. And my settings were already set to that, so it's already in progress here. You can see it's about 39%, about 47 seconds now into it. So this is fine. It's going to take a few minutes, but it's going to be worth it in the end. You're going to end up with a nice quality image that is going to be great for portfolios, great for your website, and great for being printed up and put on display. So that is the basic run through and how you're going to set up your camera or your rendered view. Once you're ready to actually render this and save this, and this is 100%, make sure it's 100% before you do this, go to File, Save Image, and you're going to choose your file or place in your student drive and find out where that's going to go. So I'm going to choose mine, animation. I've got my own Fulton Maya folder here, and I don't have one for my light project, but I'll just save it in this folder anyways. And I'm going to call this Spooky Season. Actually, that's going to be whatever you title your picture, what your project is named after. So if it's Spooky Season, that's fine. If it's lighting, that's fine. I'm going to call mine just render sample since I'm just doing a demo, and I'm going to put demo. And I'm going to make sure it's going to save as these image files, which is perfect, and I'm going to hit save. I would do that once it's completely rendered. Oh, it looks like it's completely rendered, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Hit save, and now I've got a perfect file that I can go back, check, make sure that it's rendered the right way. Animation, Fulton Maya, and render, and here is a beautiful image. Very little noise, very little grain in that, and this is great. Shows off all the things I've modeled. I worked really hard on these spheres. So that's that. That's how you're going to render it. Make it good. Change your lights around if you need to for that perfect render.